Hello, my name is Gladys Briggs, and I'm a teacher at Maths Junction. I'm a maths teacher, and in this video, I'm going to be teaching you about a ruler, this little piece of maths equipment called a ruler, which is so important in the life of a child. By the end of primary one or first year in primary, your child should already be aware of the whole idea of measurements. So things like length, weight, mass, volume and capacity, time, temperature, money, and stuff like that. They should already be aware of the whole idea of quantifying these things, yeah? But by the time they come to the end of primary 2 or second year in primary, they should be able to begin to use one or two measuring equipments, and the most basic one that we use in the classroom in maths to measure distance or lengths is a ruler. So come on, let's do this. Let's look at how children can measure rulers properly, and let's see the little things that the little mistakes that they make, the little misconceptions that they have when they measure with rulers. First thing that you want to do is get children familiarized with the whole idea of a meter rule or a ruler. You know, it comes in different lengths or sizes, yeah, and most of the ones I have in my hand now are the see-through plastic ones, but you can also have metal rulers, and you can also have wooden rulers. Yeah, and some parents prefer to buy those ones for their children, but it doesn't matter which one you buy. The main thing that confuses children the most is that they don't understand all the markings, all of the different things going on in these rulers. Let me drop these ones down and I'll keep these ones, and I'm just going to bring that closer to you so that you can see what I'm talking about. Yeah, you've got the okay, so you've got the small markings, and you've got the bigger markings, and you've got the numbers on the top, and also on the bottom you've got the same thing going on, and children need to understand the difference between all of these different markings. Now, if you're working in the metric system, then you want to be talking about the millimeters, the centimeters, meters, and kilometers, yeah, at the level of primary school. And most of what they will do in the classroom will not go beyond the level of of meters, because kilometer requires that they go and measure like a street or a big road, and you need like more sophisticated equipment to be able to do that. So with the meter rule, they can measure millimeters and centimeters, and if they have the bigger meter rule, the one that you use in the classroom, or the tailors, you know, the tailors one that measures 1 meter, yeah, that they used to measure 1 meter of fabric. If you have that one in the classroom or at home, if you're a tailor, a seamstress, that is a good one to use to explain to them what 1 meter looks like, yeah. And one thing that really confuses them is the difference between the small markings and the big markings. Now, millimeter is the smallest unit in terms of the meters, in terms of length. It's the smallest unit, and it's represented by the smaller markings. You will see the smaller markings, the very little ones, and then you have the big ones, which represent the centimeters. So children need to be able to differentiate between these two things. Yeah, millimeters, especially in year 2, year 3, they need to know millimeters, centimeters, meters, kilometers, but they need to know how to measure millimeters and centimeters. So those are the differences. They need to know 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, 3 centimeter. They need to know that 1 millimeter is the very tiny one that is between 0 and 1 centimeter, yeah. And the other mistake that children make that makes their answers not to be correct when they do measurement is that they don't start from the beginning of the ruler. Yeah, I'm going to put that on here now and show you so that you see. Yeah, because the ruler, actually, the meter rule does not usually start from the beginning, the very beginning of the ruler. It starts somewhere just like a millimeter before it, yeah, after it. So you need to make sure that they're getting the beginning where that 0 starts from. You need to make sure that they're getting that very beginning of that marking so that it does not, the error margin is reduced. Anything that is measured anyway has a lot of error margins. Yeah, so and usually as teachers or as examiners, when you mark their work, you need to keep room like plus or minus 2, yeah, for that little error margin, those little mistakes that they're going to make. So for example, if the line was supposed to be 8 centimeters, if they get 7.98, that would be correct. If they get 8.1, 8.2, that would be correct. It's when you have a far difference, when you have a very wide margin, then your examiner would think, okay, you don't know what you're doing, right? But there should be you should keep room if you're marking their work for a little bit of error. So the main thing, they need to differentiate between the millimeters and the centimeters marking. And they need to know where the ruler starts from, the actual markings begin from, and begin to measure their lines or whatever thing they're measuring from that point. Now, as a parent or as a teacher, what can you do to help your child gain confidence in being able to use this piece of equipment that looks like an insignificant thing that is not so important, but it could be the difference between the pass and the fail? It may be what makes the difference between that 2 marks that they need to be able to pass that exams. Yeah, how can you help your children to gain confidence in this skill? Yeah, you can get a piece of paper and just draw straight lines for them. If they're in like primary 1, primary 2, first grade, second grade, year 1, year 2, just draw like a whole number line, like a 9 centimeter line, like a 2 centimeter line. Look, I've drawn some out here, 3 centimeter, 10 centimeter, and ask them to measure it. Give them a piece of ruler to measure it, okay? Or you can get them to draw a line that is 5 centimeters long. Give them a plain sheet of paper and give them a ruler and ask them to draw a line that is 5 centimeters long, or 3 centimeters long, or 4 centimeters long, and begin to see whether they are measuring that accurately, and look out for the errors and how they are creating that error, and the misconceptions, what they are thinking about what they are doing. Yeah, why they are doing what they are doing. Ask them questions. Why do you think it's 5 centimeters? Why do you think what you've drawn is 5 centimeters? Where did you start drawing that line from? Show me. Which of the markings represents the millimeter? Which one represents centimeters? Yeah? And after they gain confidence in drawing centimeters, for example, then you can get them to start drawing the fractional ones, like 1.5 centimeter or 1 meter and 5 millimeters. Yeah? It depends on how you want to do it with them, how you want to go with them, but they have to gain confidence on maybe measuring centimeter first, because those are the bigger ones. Tell them to ignore the small ones and measure the big ones. When they gain confidence in measuring the big ones, then they can now look with their little eyes, look at the smaller ones and how they can add on the smaller ones to the big ones. So that's it with measuring with rulers. I hope that's helpful. It's a skill that is required. They need it to be able to do area, to be able to do perimeter, to be able to do all that big stuff with geometry. They need a good understanding of their spatial awareness and how to use measuring equipment. And the most basic one in primary school is in the junior primary is the meter rule, and this thing is something that they have to know how to do before they get to even year 3. Okay, I hope that's helpful. Whenever you are out and about with them, if you have a tape measure, ask them to measure things for you and see whether they get it right. Yeah, enjoy your week and hope that's helpful for you. Bye now. Bye.